2021, approximately 2,000 students began their land-based education with Teagasc. These students had access to excellent facilities across the country. They had access to over 1,200 hectares of land, of which 21 hectares is for horticulture, including a hectare covered by glasshouses. They had access to approximately 2,500 head of cattle, comprising of 1,250 high EBI dairy cows and 230 suckler cows. They also had access to 900 head of sheep and approximately 60 horses. These students had access to the latest cutting-edge machinery and technology, along with the latest research being generated in the Teagasc research centres around the country. They had access to 175 full-time and 69 part-time staff, comprising of teaching staff, administration and farm staff, who all supported each of the students to achieve their QQI Level 6 award. Tonight, we celebrate their achievements. Tonight, we celebrate in particular the achievements of 15 finalists who represent Teagasc centres across the country. Introducing representatives from Athenry Education Office, Aidan Lynch, Ballina Education Office, Isabel Burke, Ballyhaise Forestry, Ben Maguire, Ballyhaise Agricultural College, Conor McAweeney, College of Amenity Horticulture at the National Botanic Gardens, Leanne O'Donnell, Carlow Education Office, David Stevenson, Clonakilty Agricultural College, Keane Howran, Grange Education Office, Cormac Rowe, Gurteen Agricultural College, Enda Shanahan, Kildalton Agriculture College, Danny Doyle, Kildalton Equine, Alana King, Kildalton Horticulture, Charlotte Duff White, Killarney Education Office, Rachel Lacey, Mount Bellew Agricultural College, Amy McGee, and the Salesian Agricultural College at Pallaskenry, Tig Hanley. Tonight we celebrate with them, their families and Teagasc staff members on their success. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we will find out who will be crowned the 2023 Teagasc FBD Student of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage your host for the 2023 Teagasc Student of the Year Award Ceremony, Dr. Anne-Marie Butler.
Sílte seo anach. Áine de Butler is anam dom, agus is mise ceanara idachas le Teagasc. Tá míad an seo le anracha a bhronú daltaí a til breis gábh lín obair go dtí. Tá ár-moltha tilta acu. Minister, Chairman, Director, representatives from FBD, invited guests, Teagasc colleagues, and most importantly, to our 15 finalists. On behalf of Teagasc, I would like to sincerely welcome you to the Teagasc FBD Student of the Year Awards for 2023. My name is Anne-Marie Butler. It's my great honour to be your host this evening, and it's also my great honour to be Teagasc Head of Education. We're streaming live tonight and the event is being recorded, so a particular note of welcome to all those who join us online and who join us from near and far. Fáilte Rowe of Kildare. It's a great pleasure for me to welcome you here this evening to the FBD Heritage Hotel in Kilkenny. Teagasc is delighted to continue our long-standing collaborative and valued work with FBD for this very coveted award. Our relationship with FBD on this competition spans over 3 decades. Surely testament to the strong relationship with FBD, and thank them for their unwavering and dedicated support to us. It is wonderful to be here this evening to celebrate your success and all of the achievements across your time in Teagasc education. I hope you, each of our 15 finalists who we just met, are also very proud of your achievements. You certainly should be. In 2023, almost 4,000 Teagasc registered students successfully completed courses with us, and each of them was awarded a QQI certificate. Tonight, we celebrate the top 15 finalists who were nominated in their respective categories. You should be very proud of yourselves. Out of 4,000 students, the top 15 are in the room with us this evening. It's an evening of celebration, appreciation, and acknowledgement of a job well done. Congratulations to each of the finalists, to your families, and to all the Teagasc staff who guided you on the way. And I think at this point we might have a bula bus or a round of applause for everybody. So we have a very busy, but hopefully a very enjoyable agenda and schedule for you. So I invite you to sit back, relax, lig the ski, Gunyairi an Thaliv Galer. And at this point, I would like to welcome the Director of Teagasc, Professor Franco Mara, to address you.
Welcome everybody. I'm delighted to be here tonight at this really excellent event, and to be able to welcome the Minister, representatives from our sponsors, FBD, in particular the 15 student finalists that are here tonight, and your families. It's a very big night for you, and I hope you enjoy it. And also your teachers and all my colleagues from our education service and other colleagues from across Teagasc and other invited guests here tonight. As Anne-Marie said, this is our Student of the Year finalist night, and it's a very important night on our calendar. And I think it was really good to see the breadth of courses and locations from which our students come in terms of the pen pictures of the 15 finalists that we saw there earlier. And you know, Teagasc education, it does spread across agriculture, across equine, across horticulture, across forestry, and across all locations. We have 7 agricultural colleges in the college family, 4 of those being Teagasc colleges, and then the 3 private colleges in Pallaskenry and Mountbellew and Gortine, and but all our regional education centres as well. And it's a big footprint, and but I think it's very, very important, and the regional dimension of our education programme and the range of offerings that we have in terms of full-time courses for students that might go to ag colleges, and people that come in through the part-time and distance education route as well. It is a very broad and I think comprehensive offering, and I think it's a very impressive figure to be able to say that almost 4,000 people completed some course and got a certificate for that from Teagasc last year. And at any time in our education service, we have about 5,000 people enrolled in various education courses. And you know, as I say to my colleagues, you know, in terms of impact and in terms of the capacity building that we do for the agriculture and food sector, that's a huge number of people. You know, maybe 2,500 people or whatever coming in every year. Over 10 years, that's 25,000 people that will have come through maybe a 2-year course in Teagasc, or indeed maybe a shorter course, but a significant course. So that's a huge contribution that our education programme makes to capacity building, to upskilling the farmers and foresters and horticulturists of the future. And I think Teagasc is very proud of that contribution that we make, and that the education service within Teagasc, which is one of our 3 services, the others being advice and research, we're very proud of that contribution that the education service can make, or does make every year. So look, I suppose that one thing I just wanted to briefly mention, you know, to continue on that vein, like the power of education is something that personally I believe in, and I know Anne-Marie is really committed to it as well. You know, education, it is such a powerful thing, and I think it's one of the really important things that Teagasc does, and we're very committed to continuing to offer a very comprehensive education service for the land-based sectors into the future. We're reviewing our education offering at the moment to see how we can improve it, or what changes might need to be made, but I think it's with a view to strengthening the service that we have. And when you look at the challenges and the opportunities that face our sector today, you know, I think it is both. There are certainly opportunities. You know, the demand for food is increasing. I think Ireland is in a very good position to meet global demand for food, because we have this very, very good reputation for safe, nutritious and sustainable food. So there is, you know, the basic building blocks are there for a very, very successful industry. But like we all are aware of the challenges that the sector faces, not least in terms of the income challenges, and making sure that there are successors. And it's great to see so many young people coming through our education programme, and some of you are here tonight, but making sure that we do have successors for our land, and all the environmental challenges that the sector is dealing with, and I think is dealing with in a very comprehensive manner, and maybe often it's not understood outside the sector how much effort agriculture and organisations like Teagasc, or the industry and the department, are putting into dealing with the challenges of climate change and water quality and biodiversity and so on. But you young students, you know, you are the future, and I think it's really important that we educate you in a way that you're going to be able to deal with those challenges on your farms, or wherever you go in your future careers. And you know, I think you have a very, very important role to play for the next 40, 50 years, however long you might stay involved in the industry, in terms of first and foremost producing food sustainably, but also contributing to reducing the challenge of climate change, and ensuring we maintain our biodiversity and that we have clean water and so on. So, you know, you're in very, very important roles, and you know, when we look back at how agriculture has changed over the last 20 or 30 years, you know, we see tremendous change, and no doubt the same level of change, if not even more, will happen for the next 20 or 30 years, and you're all going to be involved in that. You're going to be part and parcel of that, and making sure that happens, and that our agriculture can benefit from new systems and new technologies and new developments that are going to come over the coming years. So I wish you all very well in your careers. More particularly, I suppose, I wish you very well tonight in the competition. But look, I think anybody that has come through an education course and got a certificate out of it, you know, you are a winner. That is something that will never leave you and will always be valuable. So treasure that, and it's brilliant that you're here tonight getting the additional thing of being a finalist in this competition. But I think before you ever got here, I would consider that you were a winner. And look, all I would say to you is, you know, stay positive. I think you know, we need positivity in the industry. We need people that are enthusiastic, that are willing to take chances, to try new things, and there's no better people to look to than the youth and the next generation for those very, very important characteristics of an industry. So look, I'm really looking forward to the remainder of the evening. I would like to thank Anne-Marie as our Head of Education for all the work, not just in going into organising and putting on tonight, but for the work you and your colleagues do in taking 5,000 students or thereabouts through our education system every year. It's a tremendously important job, and people work very, very hard to ensure that that's done successfully every year. So I leave it at that with just a brief word of thanks to Declan McCardle while I'm up here, who is doing all the video and the choreography and the broadcasting for this event here tonight, and helping to make it, I suppose, the type of professional event that we, and I'm sure FBD, would like to be associated with. So with that, I hope you enjoy the rest of the evening, and that everybody goes away happy at the end of the night. So go Mila Mahagwev.
Thanks very much, Frank. Okay, so thank you very much, Director, for those kind words. So across this evening, we will celebrate our 15 finalists across 3 categories. And the 3 categories are part-time and distance education, full-time other land use, which comprises forestry, horticulture and equine, and full-time agriculture. Again, sincere thanks to FBD, who, as I said, have been sponsoring this competition for over 30 years. Each of our finalists tonight will receive a framed certificate. They will also receive €500 each. We will award 3 category winners. So each category winner will receive €750, and our overall Student of the Year will receive €1,500, again, thanks to FBD. This year, we're delighted. We now have a perpetual trophy that we will present to the winner, and we also have glass to present to the category winners. So hopefully lots of bling across the evening. So our first category this evening is the part-time and distance education. So over the last couple of weeks, Declan McCardle has very kindly travelled the highways and byways of Ireland, getting to meet each of our finalists, visiting their farms and families. So at this point, I'd like you to sit back, relax, and meet our part-time and distance education finalists.
In the part-time and distance education category, there are 5 finalists representing Teagasc centres across the country. First up, we go to Athenry Education Office to meet their finalist, Aidan Lynch.
My name is Aidan Lynch, and we're farming outside of Gort in South Galway, and we're milking 57 cows here on our home farm, and we have British Frisian, Holstein, and now we're gone into Fleckby cross cows. We're working off a 48-acre milking platform, and we have 120 acres on the farm. There's 20 of it rented and the rest of it is owned by ourselves. I farm here with my father. He's currently full-time on farm. I work off farm in a local feed store, and I'm here at weekends and evening times. On the benchmark farm visits, I enjoyed learning new stuff off the farmers. We visited a dairy farm, and crossbreeding was a big thing, and we're going to try that here. We're in the process of changing the herd to Fleckby cross cows. We think that they're a better built cow and the ease of calving. Currently behind me we have some of them, and we're very happy with them. So our future plan is to purchase a Flexby bull, cross them onto the cows we have here behind me, and then once their calves calf down, keep the heifers as replacements, and then go back to a British Friesian bull and keep crossbreeding like that to get the cow we want. We soil tested the whole farm and we noticed that we were low in P&K. So we have now addressed that issue and we're shaking the correct fertiliser. And also in the first round of fertiliser we used protected urea and we're very happy with the results. So there's some fields we are reclaiming, we're going to try new clover swards and multi-species, but there is a couple of fields on the farm that we are leaving to nature. So the plan for the farm is not to expand massively because we don't have the land. So it's to maintain what we have and make it better.
Next up, we head to Ballina Education Office to meet their finalist, Isabel Burke.
My name is Isabel Burke. We're here in Clogher in Westport in County Meath. We have a calf to beef enterprise and we have 60 cows and we have 40 ewes and we do early lambing. I'm farming here with my husband Trevor. We're both farming part-time and working off-farm full-time. The dual enterprise works for us because of the type of land we have. Some of it is more suited to the sheep. From the course I've come back and I have started strip grazing the land, which means we're getting more out of the grass. It's proven better, we're getting better use out of it and it's better for the stock. We've also started using protective urea on the land, whereas before we only used urea, which is better, it's actually cheaper and it's better for the environment and everything, so that's a win-win. The profit monitor allowed us to look at what we're putting into the farm and also what we're getting back financially, and it made us see that the farm has to be financially viable, that it has to run itself and we're not relying on our jobs outside of the farm to run it. Because we have 3 small kids on the farm, the course helped me to reinforce safety measures on the farm and make sure that they're around machinery and livestock and just ensure that the kids aren't around the machinery and everything is safe and working 100%. The kids love planting trees, they love that, so we've planted a good few trees around the place in different areas over the years, and we want to leave the farm the way we found it, or even better, so that there's something there for the kids in the future. The plan for the farm going forward is to maybe increase the cattle numbers, build a calf shed for rearing calves and implement the acres plan for the next 5 years. Definitely I would recommend the course to future students. It helped me so much. It improved my knowledge, it gave me confidence to do things that I wouldn't have dreamed of doing before I'd done the course, so it's definitely worth doing.
Now we head south to Carlow Education Office to meet their finalist, David Stevenson.
My name is David Stevenson. I'm farming here in Ballyhook in a farm partnership with the Gillis family. We're milking 278 cows, planning to go to 320. We have a grazing platform of 200 acres here for the cows. We're farming 550 acres in total. I didn't have the prospect to inherit a farm. I always had a love of agriculture. We've basically set up the partnership. I had been working here since 2011. It was a natural progression. I was getting older, I have a family, needed a bit of security. We mowed this paddock because we hadn't been able to get the cows out due to the shocking spring we had. The umbilical system will be in to spread slurry on it, so we'll just let the cows in to graze off the few little patches that was too wet to mow. They'll be here for a couple of hours and then moved on to the next paddock. From doing the course, the emphasis in the grassland module on the value of slurry and what it is actually costing you to just go and put all your slurry out on your silage ground every year, and it's index 4 and all your grazing ground is index 1 and you're buying bags and you're just not making best use of the available resource you have. In 2019 we got our winter milk, and at that stage we had nearly a pure Holstein herd. We started using high EBI bulls then. Our herd EBI has went from -5 to 160. I pick most of my bulls on protein and fertility. So we have been planting hedges. We have 9.5 acres of forestry on the bottom corner of the farm. Other bottom corner of the farm here over my shoulder, there's 3.5 acres of a wildlife habitat. Currently we're doing excessive hours with the construction, and we're currently only milking on 14 units. We're in the process of bringing that to 28, which will have milking time. But we want to get our current project finished and restore a work-life balance for all 4 of us.
Back up the country we go to Grange Education Office to meet their finalist, Cormac Rowe.
My name is Cormac Rowe. We're here in Lobenstown, County Meath. I'm a primary school teacher, but in my spare time I like to help out my father here at home on the family farm. We have a total of 150 acres, and of that about 70 acres of a milking platform. We're milking about 50 dairy cows, but we also run a calf 2-year-old beef system, and we keep a small suckler herd. In total we have about 150 heads. Probably what I enjoyed most was heading out to Grange and seeing how farming should be done and all these new practices for sustainable farming and so on, and seeing organic farming and how it worked. I didn't even know there were such methods being used. In the last year since I finished the course, I brought home a lot of things, a lot of ideas, and so now that I'm trained and I'm qualified, my father's listening to those ideas and he's implementing them more. Definitely I'd say in terms of fertility, we've updated heat technology. We were using just tail paint, now we're using scratch cards. Definitely a big difference there. Also making sure fertility time of the year, April, May, is just as important as the calving season. We're getting the heifers at the right time. We're keeping an eye on them non-stop and making sure the right bulls are selected for AI for those replacements. I found technology, the business and technology end of the course was very interesting. Herd Watch app now we've signed up to, a lot easier to record animals on the go and check, dates of calving. Like we're trying to reduce the calving interval and things like that, the calving period. Just even having the technology at the touch of your hand makes an awful lot of difference. I never realised you could measure grass. I was very interested in the plate meter, so we got ourselves one of those, measuring grass and making a grass wedge and knowing how many days ahead to keep and which paddock next to be grazed, and definitely made a big difference. So I really enjoyed it, made lots of friends and loved every minute.
And our final finalist in the part-time and distance education category is Rachel Lacey, who represents Killarney Education Office.
My name is Rachel Lacey. I'm from Glenquin in West Limerick. So at home we have a dairy farm. The brother is milking the cows at home and things. It's not big enough to support the two of us, so that's why I went elsewhere and working for other farmers and getting more experience, and dairy farm management is the route I'll be taking because it isn't an option to stay at home. So today we're on a dairy farm in Tournafulla in West Limerick, 5 minutes from home. I worked here for 2.5 years. I worked here while I was doing the Green Cert, and I mostly just do relief milking here now, as I'm working in a nursing home as well full time doing nights. So relief milking is kind of my only option besides that, because I sleep during the day. So it's great that the farmer here can accommodate me to do the relief milking and work around my roster. I enjoyed the most about the course was making new friends, getting to learn new stuff, definitely, learning the more technical side of it. I knew all about milking cows, but asked me to go out and measure grass, I wouldn't have a clue what you're on about. Values of your soil, like your nutrient content, and the importance of it was the main thing, and that's why I done the Green Cert, that's what I wanted to learn. It's definitely increased my confidence. Before I wouldn't have been as confident talking about picking paddocks, picking what kind of fertiliser to spread, time of year to spread it, how much to spread. I wouldn't have had the knowledge, whereas now I can make an input and farmers listen because I have the piece of paper behind me, whereas before they think, this one doesn't know what she's on about, whereas now I do have the knowledge and I can make an input and give advice as well down top of it. Plan for the future is hopefully maybe lease my own farm or go into shared milking maybe. There is different options out there now because a lot of the older generation farmers are moving on and they want to return, they've no one to take over the farm, whereas they're looking for someone now to help them and to just basically run the farm for them, and I think this would be an option for me. And of course, number one aim is you want to be your own boss, like that's what everyone wants.
So congratulations to all our finalists in the part-time and distance category, and a sincere thank you to all the finalists for welcoming Teagasc and welcoming Declan into your farms. So we greatly appreciate, and we'll meet the other finalists as the evening progresses. So at this point, I would like to invite Mr. Michael Berkery, Chair of FBD Trust, to address you, and just to sincerely thank Michael and his colleagues at the Trust for their continued dedication and support of Teagasc education. So you're very welcome, Michael.
Minister, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and particularly the 15 participants. It's a fantastic occasion. It's a great event for agriculture, it's a great event for education, it's a great event for science, and it's a great event for FBD Insurance and FBD Trust to be part of and supporting this wonderful, wonderful event. When Anne-Marie took over this role, I said to her, maybe you could freshen it up a bit, or maybe a bit of Oscars for education, for agricultural education. And I think she surpassed, together with the technical backup here. So maybe Anne-Marie and the professionalism and the development within this course, because it's the quality of the education. Education, of course, can in many ways be a perfunctory effect. You turn up and you're there and you get a cert at the end of time. But I think the quality, the input, and the broadening of the curriculum, the broadening of the intellectual challenges, and the link back to practical farming. The energy already that we've seen tonight in those young people is fantastic and phenomenal. The other striking feature this evening is the family farm structure. So you have two things. You have the likelihood of continuity, you have a sustainable family farm structure, and that's unique in the world. That is certainly in a European environment, I think, puts us in a very special place. And it's something that an event like tonight expresses all that, I think, and we amplify it, and we're very proud. And I think for the entire, non-farming community, if they can watch this program tonight or be part of this, isn't this such a fantastic showcase of the future, of our ambition, and particularly Anne-Marie and her team and Teagasc, the investment that's going in and the facilities. They are not the old ag colleges of 30 or 40 years ago. They are now a very modern facility with the best standards in the personnel, in the physical resources, comparable with any other course or the degree level, below degree level opportunity that exists for young people. So Anne-Marie, well done. It's a fantastic achievement, and in the 3 years or 4 years that you've been there, I think it has certainly turned this event. But there's more. It's not show business. It is real time for all of you. Fantastic ambassadors for the future for agriculture and for the family farm structure. We've been in FBD, we've been with this competition now for I think certainly well nigh on 40 years. And I was remembering Hugh Ryan is with us tonight, and Hugh was the only FBD link person with this programme back in the day, and I'm delighted Hugh was with us. But I remember if you were on a good event, there was a cup of coffee in Buzzwell's Hotel or something, and it was all over in half an hour. I mean, it has developed to a big calendar event in the annual calendar. And of course, it's cost a lot more money as well. I think it's about £150 or something, the first competition was. So this is a much bigger investment. But it's a wonderful opportunity for FBD to pay back. It's our reciprocation back to our customers, because many of you are customers in the audience and hopefully future customers. But through the trust and through the success of FBD Insurance. John Callan, all our principal staff people are here tonight. John Callan and Emer, and of course Maureen O'Mara, who is a judge. So later on, if there's any disputes, Maureen will be holding. And Mary Dunphy, who is the liaison person with Teagasc and with Anne-Marie in putting all this together, which starts many months in advance of this evening. So the progress of the competition, but particularly the quality, I think that's what's so important. And it came across again in the sample of the interviews that we've seen, but I know that behind that, and I want to acknowledge also the local education officers, both in the colleges, but also in the different Teagasc offices where distance learning is now possible and facilitated. Back many hundreds of years ago, when I went to Ag College, you had to go there for the year, and it was sometimes a sort of a punishment to go to further education, and for other people it was the end of their agricultural education. But today, the flexibility and the possibility, and I think, Frank, the integration between the research, grass, I mean, what we have transformed, Teagasc have this country in the last 15 years around grass management, grass utilisation, genetics, all of the technologies that are being developed as research projects and research investment and innovation is being transmitted through the education system. So you have a real joined up course for all of the people here. But I could also say from the number that appeared on screen so far, the aptitude, the enthusiasm and the uptake of that knowledge and the participation in it, and the confidence that I have a future in farming, I have a future in agriculture. That's so critical and so important, because, you know, general media today, you can so often feel, well, is there a future doing it, almost, agriculture, the connection with food is almost disjointed at the moment in public discourse, when in fact we see here people, can environmentally conscious, inputs, nutrient management, and the connection between that and the whole environmental story. So, Anne-Marie and Minister, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a fantastic event so far, and it's something that in FBD we're very, very proud and pleased to be associated with. And as I said, I think, the success of this project and the success within FBD, they're intertwined in some ways. One of the reasons that the budget has expanded exponentially is the quality of the event and the quality of of the project. And you're right, that's what attracts us as a company, and that's what attracts FBD to be involved in this whole exercise, is the quality of the work, the quality of the output and the outcomes from the work. And we wish you well and look forward to the remainder of the evening, and particularly to acknowledge and congratulate all of the participants, because that's really what it's all about at the end of the day. And it's been a fantastic showcase and something that we're very happy and proud to be associated with. So thank you very much, everybody, and thank you, Anne-Marie.
Thank you. So thank you very much, Michael, to all at FBD Insurance and FBD Trust for the continued support. Just to take the opportunity myself to sincerely thank all that are in the education team or the education family. As you've seen from the videos and we'll see across the rest, it takes a community to get the courses done, but that comprises everybody from teachers, technicians, farm staff, administration staff and management, and that's across colleges and the regions and the Teagasc offices. We also work with benchmark farmers, host farms, signpost farms, and lots of people along the way, industry who come in as guest speakers. So certainly there's lots of people who make your journey better. I sincerely want to thank them for what they do every day for all learners, and without them we couldn't do it. And as Michael said, we continue to bring the science to the classroom. We rely on our colleagues in research and advisory to help us with that, and that is just the uniqueness of Teagasc, what we can do collectively. So to thank them very much. So our second category this evening is full-time other land use, and that comprises forestry, horticulture and equine. So again, sit back, relax and enjoy meeting the next set of finalists.
In the full-time other land use category, there are 4 finalists representing Teagasc centres across the country. First up, we go to Teagasc Agriculture College to meet their finalist, Ben Maguire.
So my name is Ben Maguire. We're here in Nugent, County Cavan on my home farm. It's a 147 acre site with an 8.2 hectare forest. It's a conifer high forest with predominantly Sitka spruce and sycamore in an 85-15 mixture. I suppose my love of forestry came from my upbringing. My father was always mad about trees and the farming and everything, and my mother was studied horticulture in college. So I was kind of always brought up with an appreciation of nature and trees. To be honest, it was the best 2 years of my life. Just the friends I made, the crack I had, as well as everything I learned. You know, the education was invaluable. So during the forest mensuration module, we learned all about kind of measuring out plots and kind of collecting basal areas and DBHs and tree heights. So that kind of shows you the growth of the trees and kind of your timber volume, which you can match up to timber prices as well. So before I did the course, we would have had to kind of tender that out, get lads in to do the work, and you know, that's money out of our pocket as well. So kind of now Dad trusts me off to go mark out our own plots and measure up our own yield classes and basal areas. So yeah, the business management module really stood to me because myself and my father have recently set up a new venture here in the yard. It's a green waste disposal centre. So putting in planning applications for that, we really had to look at kind of 5 and 10 year plans and looking into the future and just kind of learning how similar businesses operate when I was in Ballyhaise really stood to me when we were drawing up plans for our own business. Some of the certs we received in Ballyhaise was chainsaw certs, so small tree felling, large tree felling, windblow management. We also got wood chipper training and other things like manual handling. I've continued my education now in Waterford in South East Technological University. I am studying a level 7 in forestry and possibly going on to study a land management degree with specialisation in forestry. So in the near future, hopefully I'll finish out my degree in Waterford and then I'll continue on working in the forestry sector, hopefully setting up a forest mensuration business, preferably be my own.
head south to the College of Amenity Horticulture in the National Botanic Gardens to meet their finalist, Leanne O'Donnell.
My name is Leanne O'Donnell. I'm from Piltown, Malbay, County Clare. My love of horticulture started not very long ago actually. It was during the pandemic. I started growing my own vegetables and plants, but it was really when I went to Teagasc that I guess my love really blossomed. I work here in Mr. Middleton Garden Shop in the heart of Dublin city centre. I'm a horticultural retail assistant, and mostly what I do involves helping customers with all sorts of issues and inquiries related to plant identification and use, pests and diseases, different growing media. The modules that stand out would probably be plant protection. We get a lot of customers here with all sorts of pests and diseases that they need remedies for, or else just to know what they're dealing with. Plant identification and use is another one. The landscape design and construction module, not only did I learn a lot, new skills, there's a creative side of it. It was just a really fun and dynamic experience. Ecology and the environment was an important module for me. Learning, about the gravity of the interdependence between people and nature, and just the importance of supporting native species, pollinators, soil health, and things like that. This year I'm going back to college. I'm going to do the level 7 in horticulture in Teagasc College in the Botanic Gardens. After that I hope to work in a park or garden somewhere. I love working outside and with plants. I certainly have found my calling. I can't say for sure why, I just know that this is what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life, horticulture.
We go to Kildalton College to meet their finalist, Alana King.
I'm Alana King. I'm from County Clare, and at the moment I'm working in Kildalton College as part of the ETB programme to complete my BHS exams. So I'm working towards getting my Stage 3 teaching exams, and then that will hopefully lead on to me opening my own riding school in the future. So on a daily basis I help to supervise the students when they're mucking out, making sure they're all okay. I help with the feeding plans for all the horses and making sure they're on the right feeds, and just help keep the yard clean and daily yard activities that we need to do every day. The modules I enjoyed the most was the coaching module for sure. It helped me gain confidence in teaching and show me that I really did enjoy teaching, and that's what I wanted to do. So if you can see something when you're coaching, you can usually feel it when you're then riding the horse. And it can go the opposite way around as well. So if you can feel it when you're riding the horse, you can usually coach it better, because if you know how to do it yourself, you'll be able to explain it to other people. And the course helps you to develop your riding, so then you know how to ride it and how to explain it to other people. I really enjoyed the young horse training because it's great to see a young horse improve from becoming a breaker to becoming a riding horse, and how they do as a riding horse. So what motivates me is it's very rewarding to see riders improve and then see the joy when they know they've improved. And even with the horses, seeing horses improve, bringing on young horses, it's really great to see them improve and know that you've helped them improve. In the next 5 years, I would like to have opened my own riding school at home. I have a bit of land and a small arena already at home and a few stables, so I'm hoping to expand that and do it up properly to be able to open a riding school for tourists and for the locals.
final finalist in the full-time other land use category is Charlotte Duff White, who represents Kildalton Agriculture College.
My name is Charlotte. I'm from Tipperary in the mountains of the Navan Downs. I used to live in the city and I worked as a manager there for a long time in a fast food restaurant. And now I decided that it wasn't for me. I left there, I raised my kids for a couple of years, and then I knew then what I wanted to do, which was horticulture. So my current role is I'm a senior assistant. I help with the day-to-day running and I help the head horticulturist with his scheduling, ordering, and I also help the other horticulturists that work here. My other main duties include watering the plants and keeping up the plant health, but also for customer service. One of the things I think that I brought from studying in college was the fact that with peat after going, and there's a lot of new mixes now, and the understanding of how those mixes work and the watering regime within the garden centre has changed. Because of that, I was able to come in and explain what the different mixes were and how they were being utilised and how the other nurseries were maybe using them, which helped with the watering difficulties that happen in the garden centre as well as a result. My qualification has definitely helped me in this job role. I feel a lot more confident. I feel like I have the training and the background to actually help the customers with their queries, and the course itself gave me all those skills to help them, which is my favourite part of the job. Some of the queries that we might get from customers are maybe how to start off growing a vegetable patch, for example. We get a lot of people that come in and they don't have confidence in growing their own. So one of the things that I always love to do is I love to encourage people, especially people with young children who want to start growing their own. So then I will encourage them to come in, get the seeds, pick out the seeds, and then say to them when they're sprouting to come back into me and ask questions again of what needs to be done next. And they do, and it's very satisfying to see that progress. Where I see myself in 5 years is hopefully maybe becoming head horticulturist or even managing a garden centre.
Congratulations to all our finalists in that category. And again, a great insight, I suppose, into the entrepreneurial spirit that maybe we sometimes take for granted that is in abundance in the room tonight. So congratulations to all. So back in March, I had the great pleasure of chairing the adjudication panel. We met for 2 days in Teagasc Oak Park, our headquarters down in Carlow. And I was delighted to be joined by Maureen O'Mara, Head of Sales with FBD for Munster, and also by Macro President Elaine Houlihan. We had lots of smiles across the 2 days and lots of great conversations. But I'd like to welcome Elaine to represent and give you some feedback from the judges. So Elaine, you're very welcome.
Good evening, Minister, finalists, guests, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Anne-Marie, for asking me to speak on behalf of the judging panel here tonight. Firstly, to the 15 finalists, be extremely proud to have reached this stage, as you have shown your college, who put you forward, your drive and ambition to succeed in your studies. In March, as Anne-Marie said, the judging panel of Anne-Marie, Maureen and I descended on Oak Park in Carlow to put our finalists through their paces in the interview process. Over the 2 days, the 15 finalists showed us their passion, drive and ambition for what they want to see happen on their own farms along with the sector as a whole. We also got great insights into the structures of their family farms, their personal lives, and for some, their careers outside the farm gates and how they balance it all. What really stood out to me over the 2 days of the interviews was just how much the finalists enjoyed their experiences in their chosen Teagasc College and course. We heard stories of how the students worked together and helped one another along the way with the support of their teachers. And remember, it is extremely important for us all in the farming community to reach out a helping hand at times, as it can be an isolating field to stand in. Our job of judging this competition was no easy task, with the high standards set by all, but ultimately the category winners and overall winner has to be crowned here tonight. To all the finalists here tonight, regardless of the result, remember, you are a trailblazer. And the farming community, along with everyone in this room, is extremely proud of your achievements. As a farm leader, all 15 of you have assured me that the future is bright and safe for the young farmers of Ireland. Finally, on behalf of myself, Maureen, and Anne-Marie, we wish you the very best of luck here tonight and success for your future plans in our sector. Thank you.
So Elaine, thank you very much for those kind words and a great reflection of the enjoyable 2 days that we had. And again, as Michael mentioned earlier, certainly across the 2 days we often spoke about the family farm. We heard lots of stories of the power and influence of grannies and granddads and aunts and uncles and parents and brothers and sisters and neighbours and friends. And as Michael mentioned, and I've been fortunate to visit lots of countries around the world, there's nowhere like that. And maybe at times we take that for granted. But I would just like to acknowledge that the 15 finalists mentioned so many people. Many of them are in the room, maybe some are not, and some have perhaps left this world for hopefully a better. But the power of what was instilled in them as they began their interest in agriculture, horticulture, equine and forestry. So to recognise that and to congratulate everybody, because it certainly shone through. So the final category this evening is the full-time agriculture category. So again, sit back, relax and enjoy as we meet our final set of finalists.
In the full-time agriculture category, there are 6 finalists representing Teagasc centres across the country. First up, we go to Ballyhaise Agricultural College to meet their finalist, Cormac Rowe.
My name's Cormac Rowe. We're a dairy farm here. We milk about 80 cows. We have dry stock as well. We have about 180 cattle altogether. Grazing platform, we have 60 acres and altogether we have 150 acres. I work off farm for a part-time, 3 days a week in a piggery. My father's here full-time. In the evenings after work I come home and I help him with the milkings and feeding calves. And on my days off I do help out as well. And my favourite part of the course was getting the use of machinery. We're an old school farm and we get contractors to do a lot of the work. The newer equipment they have there, it was great to see what we could achieve and get to. Our priority on the farm is easy calving, because the easier calving it is for the cows, the better. The more milk they produce, the happier they'll be. We have tried different types of animals, but it seems to be that the Angus is doing the best. They're finishing earlier and smaller calves, which is ideal. We've a lot of hedgerows around our farm, and even we're trying to expand that again. We've got 800 white thorn and black thorn trees, and we have them ready. We've planted 3/4 of them now, and weather permitting, we'll probably get planting a few more now soon. Me and my father, we've gone into partnership, while we're in the process of it now. Partnership is to give me more of a role on the farm. I may take over the rearing of calves, things like that. I enjoyed the grassland management and going out and seeing what you can achieve with grass measuring every week. Going to Ballyhaise, for me, Anna, it was very enjoyable. There was a football team, I made a load of friends from that, and I learned a lot of new techniques so we can use it on the farm.
Next, we head south to County Meath Agriculture College to meet their finalist, Cian Horan.
Hi, my name is Cian Horan. I'm living here in Skibbereen in West Cork. We're running a 50 cow dairy herd on a 50-acre platform. Yeah, myself and the father are working part-time on our own farm, and then for the rest of the day we're tiling. Probably when I was younger I didn't have as much interest, not gonna lie. It was actually COVID kind of put in perspective, Joe, what it means to be at home and be your own boss and be able to be out, and every day is different. The financial planning in college, it really helped put things into perspective on how much money you can actually make in a year. What we put into effect, simple stuff with cows, getting more out of them, changing the breed slightly. We've introduced Jersey. We've implemented milk recording. We've been milk recording now since I started college 2 years ago. It has helped to find cows with high cell counts. Cows aren't producing as much milk or solids. Since I started the course, I've noticed that with the litres per cow have increased, the solids in the cows have increased, and our herd EBI is increasing by €20 each year. Biggest thing we've done for biodiversity would be planting hedgerows, and that's helping with sheltering animals in wet conditions as we're having at the moment. I enjoy placement the most. I felt on placement I learned a lot about farming in general and being given management roles and being able to make decisions on the farm. And Dad values my opinions a lot more since I finished college. Our general focus is to have discussions on improving EBI. The plan for the farm for the future is to get as much as we can out of stock we have without putting them under pressure or anything like that. Improve our grassland management to its highest quality. We generally receive 10% of our farm every year, and clover is being introduced with every reseed we do. We look back with fond memories. I made a lot of friends while I was there. We had a good bit of fun while we were there, and in fairness, we learned a lot while we were there.
Now we head back up the country to Teagasc Agriculture College to meet their finalist in the Shannon.
My name is Ed Shanahan from Teagasc in County Tipperary. So our farm home is made up of 20 hectares. We rear calves and we rear weanlings and sell them around 18 months of age. At the moment I'm currently doing my degree below on SCTU Wexford campus, studying sustainable farm management and agribusiness. I chose to study with Teagasc because I came out of secondary school and I didn't really know what I wanted to do, and I knew I wanted to go into agriculture some way, one way or another. So I decided to go with my local Teagasc College, which is Teagasc Agriculture College. I ended up getting involved in the tillage sector, so I ended up, when I was in first year placement, I ended up going on to a placement with a large scale tillage operator, and I'm still, at the moment, I'm still working for them part-time. I decided to study crops and machinery, so that's what I specialised particularly in my second year. I really enjoy working with machinery and tractors and just kind of even planning how you're looking at soils and how you manage soils between NPK levels, your pH levels, crop rotations and what goes where, and even looking at your chemical balances and things like that. It's such an interesting thing to me. Well, I suppose I enjoyed the fabrication aspect of it because it allowed my creative side out, because that's where my creativity comes through. I wasn't never an artsy person or good with words or anything like that, but when it came to machines and maybe designing and building a machine, it just clicked for me. So for my final year project, I designed a twin hopper meal bin. So it's just a twin hopper meal bin and it has 2 side doors, and it's really, for us, it was one of the biggest projects I undertook in my whole life, and I was really proud of it, and it's really suited our farm home and really speeds up the efficiency, and it makes life much easier for us, especially as part-time farmers. When you don't have a lot of time in the evening, it speeds up the whole process of feeding cattle in the evening. The people in Gurteen you meet they're more important than any qualification in fairness, and I was lucky to meet such great people, and in fairness I have such great friends out of it. There's no doubt about it, I will have to have an off-farm income, so I'd like to go into either some sort of something to do with soil or agronomy or something like that as an off-farm career.
head east to Kildalton Agriculture College to meet their finalist, Danny Doyle.
My name is Danny Doyle. We're here in Lullymore, Rathangan, County Kildare. This is the home farm that we're on here. I'm farming full-time with my father and my uncle. We're farming about 800 hectares of tillage land, and we also do keep some drystock cattle on the side. So winter crops are our main thing, winter barley and winter wheat in particular. We also have oilseed rape, newly introduced since I finished college. You know, it's hard to even know where to start about what I enjoyed the most from my 2 years in Kildalton. Standout things have got to be placement. So I was extremely lucky to spend 5 months around Kentucky and Tennessee on a farm in America for my placement. So I was unbelievable to get to work with such big machinery on such a big scale, and to also bring home some of that stuff. You wouldn't think much stuff in America could apply to a farm here in Rathangan. But one of the main things I brought home was their emphasis on technology. Every single acre is yield mapped. So we've always been very conscious of our soil. Growing up, I've always followed my dad out, whether it be doing soil tests or bringing the spade out to check the soil health. But to actually understand what's going on under our feet right now, it's really taught me that we have to protect the soil, whether it be with our fertiliser use, our chemical use, or the actual ploughing of the field. Without the soil, we have nothing. Take-all can be a massive issue with winter wheat, so we do have to rotate in those situations. And doing that has opened our eyes to these different crops, like gluten-free oats, like oilseed rape. So through the fabrication project, it was a massive improvement to my overall fabricating skills, but even my logical skills to design something from scratch and watch that turn into the true thing. So I think after getting to spend 2 years down in college and getting to travel the world to see how farming is done elsewhere, I think my opinion is definitely more valued at home. It does carry a bit more weight. As I take on more of a workload and more responsibility on the farm, I'm definitely around the table with my father and my uncle to make more important decisions on a day-to-day basis or on a long-term basis of the farm. Well, if you fast forward 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, the plan is always to be in Lullymore. The plan would be to be as efficient and sustainable as possible with the land that we do have.
Now we go west to Mount Bellew Agricultural College to meet their finalist, Amy McGee.
And I'm drystock farming here in North Leitrim. So we have about 30 hectares here at home where we farm mostly sheep. We've about 70 ewes, and then we rent about 80 hectares outside Corndall in County Galway, and we'd have our dairy calf-to-beef system there. We take in cows from down the south of the country, and then we rear them and keep them for 2 years, and we finish them in their second winter housing. So from doing my level 6 in Mount Bellew, we learnt a lot about the importance of the soil and the land. So I suppose we've done a lot of soil testing over the last few years, and implementing lime has proved to have been a major factor of utilising our grass growth. Again, bringing up the pH, land will be very acidic and stuff around here, so it's definitely important to spread lime, and we're definitely seeing good positives from using that. I suppose from completing my level 6 in Mount Bellew, I've been able to make more decisions on the farm along with my father. He's more reliant to listen to ideas that I've learned in colleges, like new technologies, such as we have an ED ear tag reader for the sheep, which saves a lot of time when it comes to dosing and things like that. And also just small things like paddock grazing for our calf-to-beef system. He wasn't as on for it at the start, but now that we do it, we definitely see the benefits of it, and will definitely be something we'll keep up in the future. I learned the importance of silage testing, so we never would have heard of it even before I went to college. So from going to Mount Bellew, I took a sample and our silage was coming in at a DMD of 70. So that meant then that we could better manage the amount of concentrates we were feeding to stock and know the amount they required due to the quality of the silage we had. And we've definitely saved a good bit of money on the amount of concentrates we've bought over the last few years. So in the next 5 years, I have currently progressed on to the level 8 course between Mount Bellew and ATU in Galway. So I hope to finish that out in the next 3 years. I'd also love to maybe go abroad to the likes of New Zealand or somewhere to work on a farm out there just to experience it. and come home then and hopefully go into part-time farming and maybe expand it a bit as well.
And our final finalist in the full-time agriculture category is Tig Hanley, who represents Kilkenny Agricultural College.
Hi, my name is Tig Hanley and we're here today in Eskeaton, County Limerick. I farm alongside my mother and father with 200 dairy cows. We're operating on a 77-hectare platform. I was very interested in agriculture from a very young age. I was out on the farm working with Dad and just like working with the fields and working with livestock. I enjoyed the course doing the practical side of things and grass measuring. I'd walk the farm once a week and put in my wage into pasture base. The benefits of grass measuring has been getting into better covers, better graze outs and better quality grass. Protected urea is working very well on the farm. Been using it now for the last 2 to 3 years and we find very good growth of it. We receive one field every year with clover. The reason we're using clover is less nitrogen to be used. I enjoyed the genetics in college. My EBI at the minute is 182 and we're planning to keep increasing that over the coming years. From doing the course, we've looked at the catalogues and easy calving, better feed, good conformation and good proteins and fats are very important. I learnt a lot of placement and I brought ideas back home. Like we might put in a drafting system, better water facilities. Since I've done the course, I've more say in the operation at home with Dad. The future for the farm is to keep increasing the EBI and keep grass measuring and we're hoping to put in an underpass in the coming year.
So congratulations to all the finalists there. Again, it shows through very much, I suppose, something we're very proud of in Teagasc Education, and that is the focus on practical training and practical skills. We're very fortunate in Teagasc that we can offer leading facilities right across the country, be it on the college courses or in the regions. And that is the key focus, that all learners develop those skills. For some will come in a lot stronger than others, but that people have the space to learn and the space to grow and the support along the way. I suppose communication is also very important. We heard across the 2 days the power of communication, the power of working with, if it's family members or other members who are on the farm. We heard of lots of husbands and wives and partners who are very given of their time to let people complete their courses and let people work on farm if there's other jobs. So as I said, it can take a parish to rear a child and to get students through. So well done to all. So at this stage, you have met our 15 finalists. Great footage. Thank you to Declan, who, as I said, has given great hours over the last couple of weeks in preparing that, but hopefully footage that people will have for a lifetime. We're delighted tonight to be joined by Minister McConalogue, Minister for Agriculture, Food and the Marine. The Minister is very busy at all times, but I know it's a particularly busy time with lots going on and elections. But Minister, we very much appreciate you being with us and giving of your time and joining us for the evening. I'd also like to sincerely thank your department for all the support that they give me and my team. We couldn't do it without you. We recently took ownership of 18 agricultural simulators, 2 equine, 11 bovine and 11 injecting. And again, they contribute very much to health and safety, but also to the practical demonstration. So I'd just like to thank all of your colleagues across the department for that. So I'd like to invite you, Minister, to address the room.
Thanks very much, Anne-Marie, and a pleasure to be with you all this evening for what is a really important event in the annual agricultural calendar, and one I always really try my best to be at, and that's the presentation here tonight of the really important Teagasc Student of the Year Awards for 2023. So I want to thank the Chairman of the Teagasc Authority, Liam Herlihy, and Director of Teagasc, Frank O'Mara, and you, Anne-Marie, as Teagasc Head of Education, for inviting me to attend this award. And I want to recognise also the presence of John Cahalan and Emer O'Byrne from FBD Insurance, and also Michael Berkery from the FBD Trust, and also Stan Lawler, Director of Knowledge Transfer at Teagasc. And I want to particularly as well recognise the role of the judges, yourself, Anne-Marie, and Elaine Houlihan, Chair or President of MACRA as well, and also Maureen O'Mara from FBD. And likewise as well to also recognise the work of Mary Dunphy in helping put tonight together, and Declan for the wonderful videography and production here this evening, which is really top class. But tonight, first and foremost, I want to recognise all of you here, our 15 finalists and your families who've been nominated. The 15 of you have been nominated by your college or your region for the Overall Student of the Year Award for 2023, as well as the individual award winners as well in the full-time other land-based enterprises category, the full-time agriculture category, and the part-time and distance education categories. And I want to really congratulate all 15 of you on reaching this stage of the competition, because it's a great achievement indeed to be selected as a Student of the Year finalist from all of your peers across the Teagasc Agricultural Colleges and in the regional education centres. And I very much recognise the hard work and dedication that has gone into completing your training with Teagasc over the past few years. And it's a proud day for you and a proud day for all of your families as well. I want to recognise and acknowledge the generous support of Michael Berkery and FBD Trust, who've sponsored these awards for more than 30 years now. And FBD Trust has a long and impressive track record in supporting Irish farmers and advocating on behalf of Irish agriculture and rural areas. And I want to particularly as well thank the principals and teachers in the agricultural colleges and in the regional education centres who make such a significant contribution year in, year out in educating and training the next generation of farmers. We're very fortunate to have an organisation like Teagasc, which is dedicated to educating and upskilling new entrants to the sector and providing also adult education programmes to Irish farm families. And I place great emphasis on the value of agricultural education in terms of running a modern farm enterprise, whether it's learning new financial, technical and environmental skills or seeing best practice in operation on host farms. I also want to acknowledge Teagasc's support for adopting new delivery models involving both remote delivery and greater use of digital technologies as well. It's really encouraging to see Teagasc education programmes continuing to attract strong interest from the farming community, with, I understand, over 4,500 students successfully completing their training with Teagasc in 2023. Continued positivity towards education and training the next generation of farming is crucial and absolutely welcome in terms of building the future of our farming sector. And I want to welcome in that regard too the strong partnerships that Teagasc has developed with the higher education sector, enabling many Teagasc students to further their education in universities and institutes of technology. And I would encourage students to explore this option as well if it's right for you. The 15 finalists we're honouring here tonight have been chosen from Teagasc full-time and part-time education programmes for 2023. And I know that the standard was particularly high this year, with candidates showing great initiative and diversification in their farming activities. And each one of you would be an absolutely worthy winner. And it has been great to watch these videos as well, because it really captures the different types of farming sectors that we have, but particularly what's really heartening and inspiring is to see the absolute passion which all 15 of you have for the work that you're doing and the future that you want to build in the sector. And it's never been a more exciting time to be looking towards the evolution of agriculture. But food production and the wonderful capacity we have here in Ireland to be able to produce food is never going to be more valued than it is going to be over the next generation, because the world is going to need more food, the world population is increasing, and also it's becoming more difficult to produce food in other parts of the world too, given the climate challenges that many climate vulnerable parts of the world are experiencing. And that's why it's so important that we here in Ireland make use of the great natural resources that we have, and that we do and continue to do what we really do well in producing world-class, sustainable, safe, nutritious food. And central to that is having an educated new generation coming through, adapting to the new challenges, making sure that we're doing and producing that food in sync with the environment around us, and making sure as well that we are world-class and world-leading, as we have been and we will continue to be. And it certainly gives every confidence to all of us here tonight, and I'm sure to all 15 of you too, to see the quality of people that are coming through our education system. So thank you to all of you for deciding on a career in agriculture and in food. Thank you to all of your families for the support that they have given you, and thank you to Teagasc and all of the team and educators across the country who have been so central to your achievements, and indeed to making sure that so many of our students are receiving a top quality education, preparing them for a career in the time ahead too. So it's my pleasure to be with you all this evening. Congratulations to all 15 of you, and very, very best wishes to you and all of your families in the time ahead. Gora Mila Mayogaf Kildare.
So thank you very much, Minister, for those words. And if you can remain with us now, we're going to present our certificates. So we've moved to the stage of the evening where each finalist will receive a framed certificate to recognise their achievements. So I would like to invite Dr. Stan Lawler, Head of Knowledge Transfer, to join us, who will read out the recipients. I'd also like to welcome John Cahalan from FBD, Michael Berkery, Chair of the Trust, and Liam Herlihy, Chair of the Teagasc Authority, to join me on stage for the photographs.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting to the core of the evening now, which is to acknowledge the individual award winners. But just before I begin to call you up individually, I just want to maybe add my own, associate myself with so much of the acknowledgement and thanks to everybody in terms of both this evening's event and in the congratulation of all our winners who are here tonight to receive their awards. And we're referring to our 15 award winners tonight maybe as finalists, but I do want to acknowledge and call out that each of the 15 people here tonight receiving their award and as finalists for the overall award have come through and are individual winners already in terms of their respective courses and locations where they've studied. So I think to acknowledge that and is really, really important. I want to add my thanks to everyone who's supported all of our award winners on their journey. Particularly, our own staff, both across our colleges and across our regional education centres. And that includes, as Anne-Marie pointed out earlier, both our teaching staff, but also our support staff in the background. So many of you all have such a unique role in giving all of our learners the experience that we want them to have. And finally, just a quick message to each of our award winners. And really that is to say, let this be the beginning of your education journey. Keep testing yourselves and upskilling. Take any opportunity to train and to gain new knowledge that you can get into the future. And it was really encouraging through the videos to hear a number of examples where a lot of people have used this first leg of their education journey in terms of third level education and have progressed now into further courses. And that's really encouraging. But at any stage in the future, I think take every opportunity you have to do that. And in doing so, keep in touch with Teagasc as well. We have been delighted to support you on your journey to date, and we will be delighted to continue to support you on your journey through your careers as well, whether that's through our advisory services, our events, our communications and so on. So just all of that wraps up my own congratulations to you all. So that brings us to calling up each of the award winners individually, and we start now, and I call it one by one. Our first award winner to acknowledge tonight has achieved the Level 6 Specific Purpose Certificate in Farming. They conducted their studies through the part-time course delivered through the Carlow Wicklow Wexford Advisory Region at our Carlow Regional Education Centre. Please put your hands together as I welcome to the stage David Stevenson. Congratulations, David. Our next award winner comes from our full-time category. Our award winner studied the Crops and Machinery Management course, this time coming from Gurteen Agricultural College and hailing from County Tipperary. Please put your hands together for Enda Shanahan. So next, our first finalist to call up from our other land use category, we move north to County Cavan. This student studied the Level 6 Advanced Certificate in Forestry at Ballyhaise College. Please put your hands together for Ben Maguire. Our next winner is from the part-time distance education category. Studied the Level 6 Specific Purpose Certificate in Farming through our part-time course in our Athenry Regional Education Centre. From Gorth, County Galway, please join me in congratulating Aidan Lynch. So back in our full-time category, we move north again, back to Ballyhaise College and County Cavan. Our next winner studied the Dairy Herd Management course. So please, I welcome to the stage to receive your award, Conor McAweeney. So our next finalist is in the part-time and distance education category, having completed the distance education course at our Ballina Regional Education Centre from Westport in County Mayo. Please congratulate with me Isabel Burke. So returning again to our full-time category, studying the Dairy Herd Management course in Clonakilty College, please put your hands together, coming from West Cork, Cian Howrahan. Our next winner, again in the full-time category, studied the drystock management course at Mount Bellew Agricultural College. Coming from County Leitrim, congratulations to Amy McGee. Our next finalist is from the part-time and distance education category. She studied the part-time course in Killarney Regional Education Centre from West Limerick. Please put your hands together for Rachel Lacey. Our next finalist is from our other land use category. Coming from County Tipperary, she studied the Level 6 Advanced Certificate in Horticulture at Kildalton College. Please, I welcome to the stage Charlotte Duff White. Our next finalist in our full-time category studied at Kildalton College, and his course was the Crops, Machinery and Management course from County Kildare. Please join me in congratulating Danny Doyle. Our next finalist from the part-time and distance education category studied the distance education programme at the Grange Regional Education Centre. Please put your hands together for Cormac Rowe. Our next award winner is in the full-time category. Coming from County Limerick, they studied the Dairy Herd Management course at Salesian College, Pallaskenry. Please put your hands together for Teagasc Hanley. Our next finalist is from the other land use category, coming from County Clare and studying the landscape horticulture course in the College of Amenity Horticulture and Botanic Gardens. Please put your hands together for Leanne O'Donnell. And the last of our award winners to come to the stage this evening, again in the other land use category, again from County Clare, but studying the horsemanship course in equitation at Kildalton College. Please join me in congratulating Alana King. So that concludes our 15 individual awards. So we'll hand you back to our MC Anne-Marie for the remainder of the proceedings. Thank you.
Yeah, you're all good for a few minutes. Yeah. Thank you, John. I didn't get to say thank you. Yeah, thank you. So thank you very much to all for joining me on stage, and congratulations again to all the finalists. A special note of thanks to Therese here on my right. She won't thank me for calling her out, but to thank Therese for all the work in getting us ready for tonight. So thanks, Therese. So while we're here to crown a new Student of the Year, we were delighted that last year's Student of the Year, Ellen Vaughan, kindly agreed to join us again. So I'm just going to invite Ellen to join me on stage for a few moments. Ellen, you're very welcome back. Hard to believe it's a year since you were crowned. How has the year gone?
It's been a very busy year, to say the least. It's really on the farm, But as you can imagine, the last 3 weeks have been very busy AIing. So a few late nights standing out in the field watching to see is there anything
going on. But to be
going
fair,
on.
when we interviewed you last year, that was the plan.
Yes.
Was to go back to spring and just tighten it. So
Yes.
it's been good, and you've brought the learnings back.
Yes.
You're a secondary school teacher, Gaeilge agus Home Economics.
Yeah.
You might just tell us a little. I know last year you spoke very, very proudly of how you're trying to bring agriculture into the classroom.
Yeah, and I suppose I was listening to Frank in his speech earlier on, and he mentioned about the power and the importance of education. And I think it's so important, particularly for young people, to bring that link with agriculture and food. In particular, I'm very fortunate with Home Ec to be able to do that. Actually, this year we had 4 TY students that we entered into the Certified Irish Angus Beef competition. And it was wonderful. We got to the Crow Park stages. It was the semi-final. But it was wonderful to see all the agri-food sectors there and the amount of opportunities for young people nowadays in the agri-food industry. It's amazing.
And I think you mentioned to me during the week that some of the students who have the greatest interest are not necessarily from a farm.
No, I actually had one student in the group who probably done the most work, and she had absolutely no farming background, but she was so, I think she really enjoyed it, and I'd say she probably got the most out of the whole experience.
Excellent.
Yeah.
You also mentioned last year you were hoping to go to New Zealand.
Is correct.
So you got a couple of weeks down under.
I did, and I suppose I want to take the opportunity now to thank Michael Berkery and FBD. The prize fund definitely helped burden the financial load, to say the least, but it was wonderful. I got to visit a few dairy farms over in New Zealand, and it was honestly such an amazing experience. Just seeing how their kind of simple systems are sometimes just as effective, if not even more effective. But it was really, really good. Great experience.
Well, look, on behalf of Teagasc, I just want to thank you sincerely and FBD for being a great advocate for us over the last year. You've done lots of things for us across the year. It's been a real pleasure. I know you're teaching by day, but farming is at the heart, which is wonderful.
Absolutely.
Now, this year we have glassware for the category winners that we didn't have last year, and it would be remiss of us not to have something for you. So we just have a small little token to mark your achievement.
Thank you very much.
We'll take the old microphone. Oh no, here we'll get a pic. Oh no, well we wouldn't give it all away. Okay. Yeah, you're very welcome. Oh, Fáilte Ruth. Trace, have you got my notes there? So thank you to Ellen for joining us, and continued success in both the farming career and in education. So I suppose we've reached the part of the evening that we've all gathered for, the culmination of all that you've seen and all the achievements across the time. As I said, we will award 3 category winners in all the different categories that you've seen earlier. We have prizes and a perpetual cup. But before we announce, just to keep the suspense going, Declan is going to play a very quick recap of the video for the part-time and distance education, just to remind you who's in the category. Part-time and distance education category, Student of the Year 2023, is Cormac Rowe. going to grab a quick word with Cormac. Cormac, congratulations. You look surprised, but congratulations. I know you're a primary school teacher by day, but your heart certainly sits in agriculture.
It is similar to what some of the students said earlier on. I think it was probably during COVID more than anything. All that time we spent at home, teachers had a great time off, but I certainly love being at home, especially with Dad there on the farm and learning new skills. And I realised I have a bigger passion for it maybe than teaching. Don't tell my mum, we taught for 46 years. But yeah, no, I really found a love or graw for it, and I just love the weekends. I get up out of bed on a Saturday or Sunday morning. I get up there quicker than I would to go in and teach 30 children. I really do love it.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And you mentioned in your video and you mentioned during your interview, you've really embraced that science and what you've learned through the course and brought it home.
Yes, lucky enough to have Colm here. Colm was great help. We started off the course, a lot of it was on Zoom, but then as the year went on, I suppose we got to go out to Grange a lot more and get to do some hand-based work and see soil testing and grass measurement. You know, I didn't even know there was such a thing. Like I said, we would just look at grass and see it's long, it's short. But now, we have them skills and the science behind it just to help, because grass, I suppose, it's the cheapest form of feed, and Ireland's weather that we have, it's great for growing grass. You just see the last couple of weeks and all the silage being cut there the last couple of days at home. So.
No bother. And I know you got particularly wet the day you're making your video.
I did, yeah. I said I should have worn a hat that day.
I know.
It was very windy, but Declan did a great job.
Weather.
Great job, yeah.
Well, look, gorgeous lad. You might stay here on stage with me, all right? And congratulations. So congratulations to Cormac. So again, we'll take a recap on our second category, which was full-time other land use. Other land-based enterprise category in the 2023 Student of the Year Awards is Alana King. So Alana, congratulations.
Thank you.
I think it comes clear very much in your video, but also in your interview, your genuine love of teaching.
Yeah. I was teaching in a riding school before I came to Kildalton, but through the coaching module, I found that I really, really enjoyed it way more than I thought I did even before Kildalton, and it really helped bring out my confidence while teaching.
And you also mentioned, obviously, the family. There's a strong history in that and a strong love of horses.
Yeah, my great-grandfather always had horses, and I always had them when I was younger because he always had a few at home, so that kind of got me into it.
Yeah, never lost it.
No.
And you mentioned in the video, you'd love to obviously get home eventually and maybe build a business there.
Yeah, hopefully in the long term that'll go as planned. We're slowly doing it up and just getting it ready.
Well, the very best of luck for the future, and thank you very much. And you might remain on stage with us, okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, and congratulations. So congratulations to Alana. And finally, our third category, which was full-time agriculture. So we'll just take a recap. of the full-time agriculture category in the Student of the Year Awards 2023 is Danny Doyle. Danny, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I know you're a very proud Kildalton man in your interview and in the footage. You really embraced everything that Kildalton or a Teagasc course offered.
Yeah, well, look, the least I could do for Kildalton was fly the flag, because the way I've been treated the past 2 years, the experience I've got, whether it's in a class, out in the fields, in a workshop, in America, the least I can do is fly the flag for that college.
Very good. But you took every opportunity that came. You know, Mocker Challenge Day, I saw you there competing. Trips to Brussels with IFA and bits and pieces. But how important is it for, I suppose, all learners to take whatever opportunities come?
Look, I couldn't say enough about it. I got so lucky with the amount of stuff that I got to do because I said yes to certain things that, particularly the Mocker Challenges Day, my first time doing an upfront interview, you know, saying yes to these things that you'd usually just instinctively say no to, it goes a very long way, and the past 2 years have proved that.
Very good. Well, look, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And thanks very much.
Thank you.
Okay, so you can stay on stage with us. If you'd like to... So if I could invite the three category winners just to join me here. I'd also like to invite Minister McConalogue to join me back on stage, who will announce the winner. I'll let you into the centre there. So, like every good production, when Declan caught up with all of our finalists over the last couple of weeks, he asked them all the same question. So every finalist got asked, what would it mean if you won the Teagasc FBD Student of the Year? So Declan is just going to remind us what our three category winners said.
If I won Student of the Year, my father, my family would be very proud of me. You know, I followed my mother's footsteps to become a primary school teacher. She taught for 46 years. I'm teaching 15, but I'd love to show my father now. He's hitting retirement age. I'd love to show him, look, I can help out in the farm, and I can take over and keep this farm going on, and again, through my own children in the future, hopefully, and pass skills I learned from my father on to them.
If I won the Student of the Year competition, it would help me get my business going, and just that little bit more savings to get it going and get the funding sorted. My family would be really proud of me for doing it. I think it would definitely, for me, just help me recognise that I have done so much work over the last 2 years, and it has just proved something to me that I'm able to do it.
Well, look, for me, I never particularly loved school. I didn't dislike school, but I never loved it. And only once I kind of joined Kildalton, the teachers, the students, the staff, we were nearly like a family down there. Well, if I were to win, it would be a recognition of my hard work, but also it just goes to show how far you can go when you enjoy what you're doing. So I've been extremely fortunate to grow up alongside my dad and my uncle, who at Ag College level both won Student of the Year. So to win a competition like this at national level, it'd be a nice little one-up on my dad.
Congratulations again to all 15 winners here today and to our 3 category winners. And now to announce the Teagasc FBD Student of the Year Award for 2023. National winner is Danny Doyle.
So Danny, sincerest congratulations.
Thank you. Don't know what to say now, to be honest.
Well, I think it's fair enough you have one up on your dad and your uncle.
Just about now, just so he may get used to it.
Yeah, exactly, a team effort. But look, sincerest congratulations. You mentioned something during the interview, and I heard you mention it again during the week. You were pursuing a different career, and then you had a nice day, and you told me you were in the wrong car.
Yeah, there was never a huge pressure on me to go farming. I'm lucky my dad is quite young, so there was no rush to get home. So I said I'd try an electrical apprenticeship, and that got knocked in the head very, very quickly because, the memory that stood to me that I said in the interview is driving to the job site, and it was around September time, tail end of harvest, and looking out into fields, seeing combines working, seeing tractors on the road, I just knew I'm in the wrong seat here. So here we are now.
Yeah, look, you're a great advocate. You're farming a significant holding at home. Weather has been challenging for every sector, tillage, no doubt, but you're in the midst of it in Kildare. How important is it for you now to hold that cup?
Look, it's fantastic to get recognition and look to fly the tillage flag. I'm always going to try to fly that flag. We're underrepresented as it are, so I really want to keep flying the tillage flag just as much as I fly the Kildalton flag.
Yeah, well, keep doing it. And look, Teagasc Kildalton, we're delighted, and sincerest congratulations and the very best in your career and your future roles. So
I'll say something very quickly if I could.
Of course you can.
The day of the interview, Anne-Marie, I was on the way home. I got a phone call that my granduncle had passed away. He was a huge part of the farm, so I'd like to dedicate this to my granduncle Ned because the farm's not the same at all without him.
Okay, well done. Look, lovely words, and stay with us now. We're going to take a couple of photos, and I've no doubt he's looking down on you very proud. All right, yeah, so well done. So we'll take another couple of photos and before we close the ceremony, so well done. To invite the chair of the Teagasc Authority, Liam Hurley, to address you. So congratulations, Danny, and you can stay on stage with us here, all right? Or you come over here out of the light if it's easier.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. My words will be very brief, but I think one thing that is important, I believe, to say at the very outset is to acknowledge the presence of the Minister for Agriculture, Minister McConalogue. You've always attended, we said, those events, we said, during your ministerial period, and it is something that really highlights the importance that you place on an event like this. And I just want to say we acknowledge your presence tonight. And by the way, just to let you know that we're looking forward to having you with us at Ashtown on Thursday week, where we launch our water quality initiative. So thanks for your continued support. I suppose we don't want to put a halo on your head, Anne-Marie, but I think it is important to acknowledge, we say, your huge commitment to education, first of all, and your huge commitment in making sure that we had such a wonderful event this evening. But it was the work that you and your team have put in the background. We've had participants from all over the country, all over our colleges, stretching from Skibbereen to Leitrim, Cavan, down to Wicklow. And I think that was something that was hugely important. And we had certainly an appropriate level of gender balance as well. So on that, I want to say thanks to you, Anne-Marie, and to your team. It is important to say thanks to the college principals throughout the country and indeed to all of the teachers. Because the point that was actually made there was that you gave the students the opportunity to grow themselves and, as somebody mentioned, to blossom. And I think that was, I don't know, but just to borrow that word, and that word said, speaks volumes. Another person made the point that attending Ag College, learned a lot, had lots of fun. And what was very important when you came back home, the views you expressed with your parents carried volumes. And that was a clear testament to the quality of the education that you got in Ag College. A few other points I think that is important to make is that, today, this evening, it's all about the students and your parents. I think as a father myself, or as a parent, it is always great to attend a graduation with one of your children. And I think for parents that are here tonight, it is a very special occasion, and it's an occasion that you can be really proud of and cherish for many years to come. One thing that actually struck me during tonight is we've had diverse from the point of view of full-time education, part-time education, and distance learning. And in addition to that, we covered so many facets of agri-life, from full-time dairying to tillage, to mixed stock, to forestry, and indeed many others. And I think what is important is that farming, in many cases, I think we've roughly about 120,000 farmers in the country. I would always use the figure that we have about 16,000 dairy farmers who very much by the nature of the workload have to be pretty much full-time on. But for the rest, we have a country, despite all the V-out we have, and we have it, with full employment. And it gives a huge opportunity for people to farm on a part-time basis if they wish. And that is what our educational system is very much geared to for the future as well. And I think at the present time, Anne-Marie and Stan are very much looking at the strategy of our educational system to ensure that it is appropriate for the future, whether it be full-time, part-time, or distance learning. And I think that is something that is hugely important. Tonight, I would say, without boring you, wearing another hat from an FBD point of view, when I look at the FBD brand and the Teagasc logo, it is what I would call the fusion of two great organisations working together. Teagasc has 40-odd branches throughout the country, maybe more. I do know that FBD has 34 through the length and breadth of the country. And the presence of Maureen O'Mara, Emer O'Byrne, and John Capp is a clear indication of FBD's commitment to serve our farmers through providing a quality insurance and also the SME sector for the future. So I think it is important that I acknowledge Maureen, Emer and John tonight. Your present is a very clear commitment of your commitment to providing a quality insurance product for the farmers, whether they be part-time, full-time or whatever the case may be in the future. So with that, I just want to say it's a great night and I'd like to celebrate. Well done to the winner, but I would say well done to all participants, and particularly I would say to the parents. You can all take a bow and be proud of what you've done. But one final point I would make, looking at the videos, we've certainly, land use is a mixed bag, and what was very clear tonight was that everybody was making the most. Instead of complaining about what we have in terms of land type, everybody was making the most of what we have. And I think that is something that is hugely important. The last shout out, I think, will have to go to Mary Dunphy, of FBD, because if anybody was lost, there was no need for a Google map or anything, you know. There was lots of FBD signage here, and as always, compliments to you, Mary, for the manner in which you do the signage. Great night, delighted to be associated with it, and looking forward to being here again next year with another group of outstanding students. Well done. Good me and all good fellow.
So thank you, Chairman. So my final duty of the night is just to sincerely thank you all. To all who joined us online, we had very significant numbers online. So to thank them for joining us and staying with us. To thank everybody in the room for your cooperation and participation. Hopefully you'd enjoy the evening. There is one person I do have to thank, and that is Declan McCardle, the man who keeps the show on the road down the back. So maybe a round of applause for Declan. And just to acknowledge the wider team who helped Declan and keep all boats afloat. We greatly appreciate it and welcome. Thank you, Minister, for joining us. We look forward again to further gatherings. To all our finalists, to our category winners, to Danny, to all who make tonight possible. Sincere thank you. Cogorgic is lath, bon tatnaf os an ihe, slán agus bannacht, and thank you all.